You keep thinking the Sixers are going to finally get things going and finally get in the right direction, but, they disappoint you. Time and time again, the season's been disappointing. Paul George has been a disappointment. He was on vacation taking photos with his girl, and he's averaging 16 points a game this season. He had 2 points against the Brooklyn Nets the game before All-Star break. It's just terrible. Just terrible what he's been for the Sixers this year. They're going to have to pay him $57 million. The addition of Paul George couldn't have aged any worse. It's aged just like milk. And just him doing his podcast, he's doing great with that. But just on the court, he's just been terrible. Just been a shell of himself. And then on top of that, you have Embiid, who's only played 18 games this year. And the performance he put up against the Boston Celtics last night, 15 points, 3 for 9 from the field, 27 minutes, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. It's just, he looks like a shell of himself too. He's not healthy. He's only played 18 games, and he's still not healthy yet. Looks worse and worse on the court, just out of shape. The knee is not looking right. It looks like it's bothering him. And there was reports coming out a week ago that Embiid needed another surgery for his knee to be where he wanted it to be. So what's the point of this season anymore? This season's a wash. You're 11th in the Eastern Conference right now. And the East is terrible this year. Other than 5-6 teams, the Bulls, the Wizards are terrible this year. The Magic, they're scratching the surface. They're just fighting and clawing just to be the 7th and 8th seed. So teams are not that good in that back end of the Eastern Conference, and still you are the 11th seed. I think Embiid should go ahead and just get that surgery and shut him down for the rest of the season. There's no need to continue him playing it out and even worsen that knee. And it's bad right now. So yeah, just sit Embiid for the rest of the season. And where the Sixers are right now, the 11th seed in the East, if they keep that pick in the top 6, they can keep their own pick. If it's outside the top 6, OKC gets their pick. You've lost 8 of the last 9 games. You've lost 6 games in a row. So just, lose out this season, just tank, and you could potentially get an Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper if you're lucky. One of those 3 players will be really good. You have some promising young players on this team. Quentin Grimes, I think you should re-sign him. He's been great for you so far in the games he's played since the trade deadline. And Jared Butler, he's averaging 10 a game for you in 3 games. He's been pretty good as a backup point guard. Yabu's been really good this year. Great addition, underrated addition, one of the best additions in free agency. He's staying in the NBA. You made some moves at the trade deadline to be able to re-sign him. Really like him at the power forward position, whether it's coming off the bench or starting. Really like him on this team. He gives you that spark. He plays really well, plays hard. He's been a great addition, so I'm glad they're going to be able to keep him and re-sign him. Justin Edwards in his rookie season, he's been great this year. He stepped up big for you this year. Excited to see what he can be for you next year. So allow those young guys to continue to get their reps and see what they can do. Adam Bona, see what he can do in maybe some starting minutes. This year's done. And Paul George, I'd shut his ass down too. He's hurting any chances of you trading him because he's already on one of the most untradeable contracts right now. But his value, it's down tremendous. Moving forward, just try to do whatever you can to keep your draft pick. And next season, Jared McCain's going to be back healthy. He should have won Rookie of the Year this year if he didn't get hurt. He was one of the best rookies in the NBA. One of the best Sixers on your team. He was one of the best players. Just playing at a high level, shooting the ball efficiently, 15 points per game, 38% from 3, 46% from the field. So he showed you he can be really good early. He got off to a hot start, so excited what he could be for you next season when he's fully healthy. I think honestly maybe you should just build around Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. Those 2 guys, Tyrese Maxey has been great this year, averaging 27 points per game. He's top 5 in scoring in the NBA right now. Build around those guys. They've shown to be able to play alongside each other pretty well too. I think with Embiid, it's year after year. You're kind of getting to that point where you might have to trade him. I still think, allow him to get healthy, shut him down for this season. And if he's back fully healthy next season and he can put together a 72 game season, maybe as close as possible, maybe 68 games, and be healthy in the playoffs, I say give him 1 more year. But after that, it's time to start looking at Maxey and McCain as the future for the Sixers. So it's time to completely look towards the future. This season's over for the Sixers. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.